Hello, everyone. Oh, let me scoot my chair up. Sorry if you saw my head. How is everyone doing today? I have been so busy. I went with my son to Appleworks. I'll get into that later. Appleworks is an orchard here where I live. But I just got home and I have been making cards. And I thought I would share it with you guys because I think they're really pretty and it's a good use of cardstock. And they're really simple too. So I have made a few sets. These sets will actually be listed in my Etsy store if you guys are interested in purchasing some note cards. So I have some patterned paper on the front. They all say hello. And within the sets listed on Etsy, you will get 6 of the same design. And then when you open it up, you have a white place for writing. These 3, this one has this pretty maroon. These 3 have double-sided cardstock as this piece, and this blue. And this, I know it's super shiny, but is like a, I don't know, coppery kind of metallic paper, which is beautiful with that. So these have double-sided cardstock. The ones that we're going to make today have, I'm going to use this because I love this kind of watercolor paper, is just single-sided. And because it is a little flimsier, I wanted to do this one too, so I could show you guys how to kind of beef it up because this cardstock is pretty thick. So you can see how to kind of do that as well. So yeah, these are A2 size, so they'll fit in your normal envelope. And yeah, they're just super simple to make. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do, so one 12 by 12 sheet of patterned paper will make 6 cards, which is awesome. And to make the bases, you just need 3 pieces of 8.5 by 11 paper, and we're just going to cut these in half. So let me grab my trimmer. I am going to put my patterned paper to the side there. And we are just going to cut these in half. What is that? What is this hamburger? That's what we're doing. Hamburger style. So we're going to cut these at 5.5. Hamburger style. I am saying that right. So there's 2. And I just love how pretty these are. I chose this really pretty lilac cardstock to go with that paper, but I mean, you could, use whatever works with the printed paper that you're going to use, the cardstock you're going to use. So we have these. While I have my trimmer out, I am going to go ahead and cut my patterned paper down. And the patterned paper mats, we are going to make 1/4 of an inch smaller than this folded. So when this is folded, it would be 4.25 by 5.5. 4.25 this way by 5.5 this way. So I'm going to cut these pieces to be 5.25 tall by 4 wide, which is awesome because you get, 6 pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these at 5.25 tall. So if you have paper that is, needs to be a certain way, just make sure you cut it the right way because I have messed that up before. And I mean, while the cards looked okay, they weren't my favorite. So so we'll cut again at 5.25. You have this strip left over, and these we are just going to cut at 4. So you should get 3 pieces. Oh, where's my glue? 3 pieces out of each strip. So 4. Oh, my paper moved. Ugh. I hate when it does that. Oh, it's fine. It didn't even mess it up. Lucky me. So we'll cut these at 4. So that was 3, 4, and this will be 5 and 6. Let me hold it this time. 5 and 6. Now on the inside of these cards, I also put, a white backing here, and this is just white cardstock. It's a little thicker. I mean, it's not just, paper. So it's a little thicker, and we're going to cut these at 5.25 as well. 5.25 by 4. 1/4. And then we'll cut them down to 4. Now these aren't even, unfortunately. You have to use, you get 4 mats out of an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So if you're doing them in sets of 6 like I do, they're not going to be even, but that's all right. Just means you need to make more sets, I guess, right? That's what I say anyway. So I will just do these 4. Well, no, I do need to do more because I am going to use this actually to back these so that they are nice and thick. So for my set of 6, I'm actually going to need 12, which is 3 sheets of paper. So we'll cut it at 5 1/4. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody is good. It is hot. I am in Indiana, and it is the 1st of October, and it's over 90 degrees today. How insane is that? I went with my kid, my kid, I almost said kids. I went with my kid, my oldest son, to Appleworks, like I said earlier. It's an orchard down here where I live in Indiana, and I love it there. We go there every year, you know, it's just an awesome place. I love it. But it was hot. Oh, it was so hot. The kids loved it though. They have a petting zoo there, and a big, you know, park, and we got to go on a ride around the orchard and the pumpkin fields and things, and it was a lot of fun, but it was just really, really, really warm. So what can you do though? We had a good time. We didn't stay all day, you know, but all right. So I'm going to get my scoreboard out for my card bases. Grab my scoring tool. We are just going to score it in half. So it is 8.5. We want to score at 4 1/4. So we will get all of these scored. There we go. If you hear anything, it is my dog running around. And for those of you that might be interested, a while ago I said we had a cat that was hanging around the house. And my husband was dead set. No, she cannot come in the house. She's a kitten. I mean, a couple of months old, not like a baby kitten. But anyway, no, she cannot come in the house. Well, my 4-year-old daughter has been letting her in the house. My dog has no issue with her, which is fantastic. I'm super happy about. And now she has a name. My daughter has named her Coraline, not Caroline. Coraline, which I think is adorable. If anybody else has small children and you've seen the movie Coraline, yeah, that's where she got it from, the movie Coraline, which is really creepy, but my daughter has loved that movie since she was like little, like 4 years old little. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Oh, before we crease this, let me grab out my paper trimmer because it just makes it a little easier to do it before you fold it, I guess. We are going to line up this fold with the 1-inch mark and cut this off like so. So we are going to have a 1-inch strip like this, and this is what we are going to attach our pattern paper to. So let me go through, just line this up with 1 inch. And we are going to trim all of these off. And these, you know, cutoffs we can use for, you know, something else, matting something else on another card. I used a lot of them for the embellishment, the sentiment pieces in my die cutting machine, which was nice because then I had the same, you know, coordinating paper without having to cut up an entirely new paper. So you could do that too. Make banners and, you know, whatnot with it. So then we're just going to go through and fold over these little flaps. Now, if you're an inker, you can ink these. I inked around, and I'll show you when we get there, the embellishment portion. I am not thrilled with this paper. Look at this paper. Do you see it? Can you see? Look at that. See how it's ripping? That's kind of driving me a little nuts. I don't think I like that. I guess I'll just use these for me. So this set will not go up on Etsy because I am not thrilled with the way that paper is behaving. Not at all. This will just have to go in my little stash, and that is fine. But the other 3 I'll put up. That is so annoying. I hate when cardstock does that. All right, so now we have our 6 bases. What I like to do at this point is glue in my mats on the inside. So what we're going to do is glue in our mat, center it on the inside, like so. For the rest of this, I'm just going to do 1. That way, I mean, you guys will get the drift, right? That's why you guys are watching. You don't need to watch me make 6 of the same thing. I mean, unless you want to. Maybe we'll get really deep into conversation and that will be necessary. I'm just going to use my tape runner and go around the edge. Like so. And we'll put a strip there. And then we're just going to center it. And I'm sorry if I have to pull this off camera or my head might be in the way. So if my curly mop gets in the frame, I apologize. And we'll just center it. Now you can use wet glue for this if you prefer wet glue. I like tape runners or dry glue just because it won't, buckle my pages. So now that we have the mat down, we are going to take our patterned paper. If you have double-sided paper, that's great too. I just like the way this looked. I thought it was so pretty. So even though it's a little lighter in cardstock, I really wanted to use it. And all we do is line this up with the white mat. And they're the same size, so they should, line up perfect, right? That's funny. It never lines up perfect. And then we are going to run glue along this inside edge here and this outside edge here. So that way when we close this down, it'll have glue here and on the outside. It'll have it on both places. So again, I might pull this so that I move my paper. Go back, paper. And we'll run a bit of glue along here. Oh, there we go. And then along here. Like so. And then just fold it over. So there we go. Now we have a card. Now, like I said, this is a little flimsy. Since if you wanted to make it a little thicker, you could put another one of your mats, which should be the same size, here, and that would make your card front much more substantial, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So you've got a really nice substantial card front there, like so. So you can do that. For the front, I just used... Yeah, I'm not thrilled with this cardstock. I don't know what it is, but it was pretty and it matched this paper. It's no bueno. I don't like it. Okay, so for my fronts, if I can get it, I used my... So for these, I actually used a die that I had. So I was able to use, like on this one, I used the cutoffs from this cardstock. On this one, I did the same thing. I used, one of these cutoffs from this cardstock and made, the frame. And then I just stamped hello. For these, I actually used my Cricut because I was like, wait a minute, I can do more than one and it's a lot faster. So these frames are free on Cricut Design Space. If you just go to the images and sort or filter it by free, these are in there and there's a bunch of them. So you can go in and resize them. So what I did is I cut out a few different sizes. I actually made 3 and then saved it. So I would have 3 different sizes. Oh, that's the same size. hang out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. No, that's the same size. What is happening in my life right now? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Can you see that? I know it's all black, but there's 3. So I can use it in the future to have nesting ones. On this one, I just did 2, and I cut out hello. And so this one, I'm going to mount to here. Oops. Can you see where I messed up in printing? Oops. But I'm not about to waste some good white cardstock, so I flipped it over. And then we'll just line this up in the middle. Hopefully, please. Like so. And then I popped up this with some foam tape. If you guys have a dollar store near you, you can get foam tape at the dollar store. And this is pre-cut. Voila. It's a whole big old roll. Hold on, I think I have one. Here it is. For $1. Double-sided foam mounting tape. So you guys can check that out. It's in like the hardware, not in craft. It's not in the craft section. It's in like the hardware section. Foam tape, and then get all of these peeled off. Like so. It's been really nice having these little rectangles because they're not super tiny like what you get at the craft stores, you know, but I don't have to sit here and gum up my scissors and deal with my dirty scissors. So then this, you just pop right here in the middle. Like that. And now you have a nice little greeting card. And I like to keep these on hand. You know, I love making simple cards like this. They're just pretty, and you can write your little note and do what you want to do. You can change the greeting if you have stamps. You could use Christmas cardstock and put Merry Christmas. And again, it's just something simple that you can, you know, write on and send out the door. So again, I did these 3 in much the same way. Just using different papers. And these will be listed on my Etsy shop. But if you don't want to buy them and you have tons of cardstock, make them yourself. How cute are these? So cute. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little tutorial. Hope you have a great week. Enjoy it. And hopefully the weather is nice for you guys. And hopefully here it'll cool down a little bit. Because let me tell you, I'm ready for fall. Thanks, guys. Bye.